because I think we're all fairly big fans of Retzlaff. I think Cory's probably the biggest fan of Retzlaff out of us, and we've been supporting him for a while now. We've seen what he's done over the last couple of years. No matter what car he's in, he just seems to find some sort of success. He seems to get the most out of his equipment possible. And with him at Darlington this past weekend, and Darlington's obviously not a very easy track. It's probably the most difficult racetrack on the schedule. There might be a slight argument with Rockingham as the most difficult racetrack on the schedule, but I would say it's probably Darlington. And for Parker Retzlaff to qualify as high up as he did and run top 5, top 10 the entire race pretty much in a not as a competitive car. Viking obviously has the alliance with Richard Childress Racing for sure, but it's not exact. It's not. They're not the same thing. You know, they have that alliance, and for him to be as impressive as he's been to start this year is insane, including outracing his teammate Anthony Alfredo, who is no slouch, because I considered Anthony Alfredo to be kind of like a Parker Retzlaff type, where he gets the most out of his equipment no matter what car he's in. He's going to do the best that he possibly can. And the fact that he's outperforming Anthony Alfredo and he's outperforming most of the series right now, and if the playoffs, not the playoffs, the chase, if the chase would start right now, Retzlaff would be in it. I'm insanely impressed by Parker Retzlaff. Someone needs to sign him next year. I know he doesn't have a lot of sponsorship backing, so it's a very similar situation to what Heim's going through. Because even a couple races this year already, Retzlaff hasn't really had a sponsor on the car. It just had Viking on the car. So hopefully Retzlaff's able to get some more money, get some more sponsorship, garner that stuff this year, and maybe next year make a run at an O'Reilly Series championship or something like that with maybe a Junior Motorsports, with a Joe Gibbs Racing. Maybe he just moves up to Richard Childress Racing. Maybe RCR decided to have a third car or something like that. Or maybe Jesse Love goes Cup Series Racing or something like that. And I guess I'll start with Cory on this one. How do we feel about Retzlaff as a whole this season? And honestly, if I had to name the driver of the day when it came to Saturday, it would be Parker Retzlaff, 120%. How are we feeling about Retzlaff?
Man, it's
Parker's
awesome to see. It's awesome to see. I've been a fan since he was in the 31, couple years while he was in the 31 and in the 4, and he always shows that he can be in the top 5, the top 10, or he'd showed glimpses of it, but he'd always be involved, I swear, in every wreck. He just could not avoid it. He got just bad luck all the time, and it's awesome to see him get such a good start this year. Second at Echo Park, and then what did he finish this week? He was racing the top 5
I think
all
he ended up
week.
finishing sixth, I think, this week.
Yeah, it just impressive. It's awesome to see with a second year team still getting the most out of his equipment. I think that's the best driver to say that with. He gets the most out of his equipment every time. And it's impressive to see. I'm glad he's getting his flowers. Even on Door Bumper Clear, they had to bring him up. They gave him his flowers. And I hope he gets a better ride next year. And I mean, honestly, he's doing good with the ride he's in, but we all know he's worthy talent wise of one of those top tier cars.
Yeah, Retzlaff, I think he's proven that he's ready to be in a top tier sort of ride, at least in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. So I'm hoping he gets that opportunity next year to get into a top performing ride, whether that's, like I mentioned, RCR or Gibbs or Junior Motorsports or Hendrick Motorsports are kind of getting in there now. So maybe he can be part of the Hendrick brigade or something like that. I don't. Maybe Penske comes back. RFK. They've talked about coming back to the O'Reilly Series. Haas Factory Team. I'd say Haas Factory Team. They're a pretty good O'Reilly Auto Parts Series team as well. So I would like for him to race for one of those teams next year. But for what he has this year, he's doing the best he possibly can. Tyler, how are we feeling about Retzlaff so far this season and his overall performance at Darlington? Because I thought he was just kick ass on Saturday.
I think Parker knows exactly how to work with what he's got. That's what his best skill has been, it seems to be, is to show that no matter what he's given, he can work with it to do something with it to produce a decent outcome. So, I mean, that's what everybody wishes for in every series on every team is a decent outcome for every race at the very least, right? Everybody hopes for a win, but you're not going to get a win every week. So, if you can put a shitty car in the top 10, that's the best you can hope for. I think the man does that every chance he gets. He hits his back against the wall and goes. So, he deserves a little bit better of a car. I think he could definitely park it in victory circle with a lot more help.
And he had a good ride his one cup start.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done well in everything that he's really attempted at. I'm just very excited for Retzlaff's future. I'm hoping the attention that he's garnered over the last couple of weeks, you can get some more sponsorship, you can get some more money, because unfortunately that's what makes this sport go round. That's why we don't see Corey Heim racing full time. That's why we don't see some of these other drivers get the rides that they may deserve, and it ends up going to someone else. Like, look at Nick Sanchez. He got taken out of the 48 car after a kick-ass year, and now you got Patrick Staropoli in there, who's actually done a little bit better than I expected, but he hasn't even come close to match up what Sanchez did last year. It's just all about the money. And hopefully Retzlaff's able to garner some sponsorship and get himself a great ride. I did hear somebody have a take, I forget who it was. It might have been on Door Bumper Clear, actually, where they should do a similar thing that Ryan Preece did a number of years ago with Joe Gibbs Racing, where instead of paying for a whole season for a mediocre team, he raced like 4 or 5 races at Joe Gibbs Racing. I think he won one of the races and kind of made himself known throughout the NASCAR community at that point. So maybe that's something you'll have to do, unfortunately, is I would probably take that over, maybe not even over Viking, though, because Viking actually look pretty good, and they're a growing race team. So I'm very interested to see what the future is for Parker Retzlaff. But let us know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about Mr. Crocker, aka Parker Retzlaff? I couldn't go the whole segment without calling him Mr. Crocker.
Yeah, dude, I was about to say it.
I had to do it. I hope he takes it as a compliment. Mr. Crocker's awesome. I hope he probably does. He probably wouldn't. He probably wouldn't.
I think he still uses that as his sign, his pit sign.
Oh, is that his pit sign?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome if that's his pit sign. Then he owns it then. That's awesome. Fuck yeah. That just gave me more respect for him if that's true.